is a big game. The Bucs are red hot, won 5 in a row. They hold that 6th seed right now. For Dallas, they're already in the playoffs, but it's about trying to get home field advantage. And can you believe it? They lose last week to the Giants, and all of a sudden, everybody's ready to throw Dak Prescott out and bring in Tony Romo. First of all, is there any validity to that argument that maybe it's time to change quarterbacks at Dallas?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You have got to be kidding me. If it had not been for their fortunate, them being so fortunate to draft Prescott in the 4th round, whom they didn't want in the first place, and then the thought that Romo goes down, who would have thought they would have won 11 in a row? Yeah. And now, my God, this stupid rookie had a bad game in New York. His butt ought to be bent. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
How many of us think they win that many games in a row with Romo?
You know, here's the thing. You know, is it an overreaction? Yes. Yeah. Is there any validity to it? Probably not. But when Jerry, I think in Jerry's heart of hearts, he has a soft spot for Tony Romo. Yeah. He'd like to see. And he should. Romo's been a big part of that organization, and he'd like to have him kind of maybe be a part of finishing it up, and that's great. They faced Minnesota. They had a tough defense in division last week, and they see another tough defense this week. Oh, yeah. If they struggle 3 weeks in a row, the conversation becomes a bigger conversation.
Yeah, the problem with people saying Romo could have won that game. Let's put Romo in there. You know, fans and a lot of coaches, you know, they look at a older player and they think of the body of work. They think about how great he was. When you look at an older player, you've got to look at what he's done recently. And with Tony Romo, the last couple of years, he hadn't played a lot of football. And the other thing is, he hasn't played very well coming off of injury, the last 2 injuries. So they need to look at the recent history and not the body of work.
Yeah, but Jay, you know, everybody's talking about this on the outside. Right. Inside of the coaches thinking this?
No, absolutely not. Look, here's the bottom line. The only way that they will make a move is if Dak Prescott becomes the problem. He's not the problem. And he has a long way to go for him to be the problem. They don't view it that way. It's his locker room. The players look at it in his locker room. Absolutely, there's no way this move gets made unless he completely falls apart. And again, he's the problem. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, let's be honest about it, though. He hasn't played as well on 3rd down the last couple of weeks, but he's still not the problem.
And he's the guy in that locker room now. It's his locker room.
Well, not only that, I mean, you're not surprising anybody anymore. I mean, people are going to scout you. People are going to study you. Sure. Teams get better. This is the time where teams are making that playoff push. So teams are actually the level of, I would say the energy level is picking up game to game. They've never had this experience before. Right. So you got to account for that, too. It's still a rookie. As many games as you won in a row, and as excited as we are, it's still a rookie who's learning and going through the growing
As a group, they struggled.
Yeah, but they face another tough defense tonight. Tampa's playing really well to have gotten to this point, hold that 6th seed right now. So we will see if he can step up to the challenge with everybody looking over his shoulder and tapping him on the shoulder, saying maybe it's time to move on.